Hey everybody, getting started here. Doing a live stream. Gonna be doing some one card pulls for those who are attending and request. Everybody gets at least one message from the guides. You can use standard Smith weight tarot. I've got the MJ Conning Magpie Tarot, which is actually a combination of some of her different tarot decks. She's picked some of the more favorable cards from those. Actually, let me go ahead and turn my air conditioning off, which is probably going to kill me, but I've been told that folks have a hard time hearing me with it when it's running. In a moment. Hey everybody, back. So, options for tonight. People getting the one card readings. Smith Waite Tarot, Magpie Tarot, MJ Conning. Also offering one card Liminal Forest Oracles. Also offering Wandering Witch Oracle, which I've done some of. Wandering Witch. Jen, I just started a little bit ago. I've got about a third battery, so we will see how that goes. And I'm going to be doing the unboxing of this Loteria Tarot. First edition. This was actually a Kickstarter project that I backed. I've got 3 of these sets, and I'm supposed to be getting a bunch of other bonuses. Folks keep dodging me, not sure, but pretty awesome. So, that in comparison, there's the standard Loteria Mexican card game. Couldn't get on earlier for some reason. Yeah, today has been weird for a lot of people. I don't know if it's a supermoon, I don't know if it's Jupiter, I don't know if it's just because it's hotter than heck here in the Midwest. Heat index of 104. My fiance's car, the computer in the dash kept wanting to crap out. Very weird. So, for anyone who's not familiar with Loteria, it is essentially a card game where you put out different cards in a pattern. Special action cards. So it's kind of like you can let you steal. So it's kind of like Uno meets tarot. It's very interesting. Players race to build a grid of cards by playing cards with matching colors or higher numbers. But watch out, special action cards can let other players steal cards or change the board layout. The player to play the last card in the grid wins the round and the win card. First player to win 4 cards wins the game overall. So, example of some Loteria cards: La Arana, Spider; El Pescado, the fish; El Pino, the pine tree. And this one even says you may play another card. El Borracho, the drunk. So, interesting things. Thank you, Jen, for the stars. I am seeing stars because of you in a good way. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the plastic off this bad boy. Ancient symbols and Mexican magic. What could possibly go wrong? if I can get into it. I've got 2 more of these. I'm debating selling one, possibly doing a long-term drawing or raffle for the other one. And just throw it on the floor, why not? Okay, so the box itself has a nice satin finish. The lettering on it is kind of glossy. You can see some of the sheen on there. A corazon heart. And so, how do we open this? Okay, magnetic snap side here. So here's how the inside of it looks. Man holding up the planet, Earth, Loteria. Here we have the book. Very thick book. Very thick book. That is about 3/4 of an inch. Loteria Tarot. Satin finish on the book, no gloss. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Introduction. There's an introduction to it. Talks about the history. Personal note. Very interesting. Very high quality. So I'm seeing so far. Tarot enthusiasts. Has different spreads. Ways to use the deck. Friendship spread. 3-card reading for friends. Set the intention, lay out the cards. Each friend draws 3 cards. Interpret the cards. Each card reflects a key aspect of the friend's future. Card 1 is the present. Card 2 is the challenge, what lies ahead. And are you going to tell me what card 3 is? The outcome. What's interesting about this is a lot of this they also have in Spanish, which makes sense. It's Loteria Tarot. Outcome, where the path is leading. This final card gives a glimpse into the resolution or rewards awaiting them in the future. So present time, where you are now. This card reflects the friend's current energy or situation. The challenge, card 2, what lies ahead. Upcoming obstacle or lesson, and the outcome. Interesting. And for each, like, for instance, this one, there's the bonnet. Thank you, Gia. Death card. The flag. And each page really had the heron, the bird, the boot. So here's the book. So let me actually get the cards out. This is interesting. Now there's a little... I'll look at that later. It's a little envelope. See what that is later. Here we go. El gallo. Chicken. Actually, no, that's the rooster. That'll be the rooster. I forget how many of these cards there are. Because they had an initial series, and then if you got past a certain goal, they would release 3 more cards. And we went like 2 or 3 expansions beyond the original. We didn't get to all the way to the end before it ran out, which is unfortunate. But way more cards. And some of these are traditional. Some of these are from old Loteria decks that have been out of circulation and considered antique. Here I am automatically shuffling. Pair. There's one. Let me get the other deck out. And it's all the same. They just split it between 2 sides of a box to make it look fancy and to accommodate a bigger format book. Here's the plastic liner that the 2 decks came in. Come on, everybody. There we go. Cardstock is not real thin. Fairly stiff. Wheelbarrow. Loteria. Wheelbarrow. Kind of that vintage 40s, 30s maybe feel on some of the art. Really interesting here. So let's see. Let's do a 3-card spread. Let's do a random 3-card spread. Not intended at any one person in particular. If it speaks to you, great. This is for that mystery viewer who is going to see this probably after the live is over and it's been posted to the website. So let me start grabbing. Card 1. Card 2. Card 3. So current situation. Guajolote, the turkey. Current situation, getting number 82. This person could be 44 years old, going to be 44 very soon if you were born in 1982. Turkey, traditional. It was supposed to actually be the original bird representing the United States, not the bald eagle. Ben Franklin wanted it to be the American wild turkey, and everybody else thought that that was a bad idea. He lost. I think there's something to it. Beautiful plumage, but we've got this interesting thing going on. Red, flashing. We have a combination of beauty and perhaps some anger, aggression. 44 years old, 1982. 45. We have a 45 now. So that's the present situation. We have a person who is the turkey. This person is this is the Tom. We're talking about a male, actually. Man, okay in groups, spends a lot of time by himself, kind of a loner. Flock. Settling down. I have a feeling this is about me. My birthday is July 9th, 1982. The challenge. El Venado, deer. So what is the challenge here? Challenge for this male who prides on looks, a certain level of strut, vanity, some arrogance. Really sounds like me. Challenge. The challenge here is doing the right thing. The challenge is wanting to be all things to all people. You have to be the symbolic bravery and courage. Thank you, Jen. Happy early birthday to me and anyone else who is going to be turning 44 or whatever age this coming July. We are into the Cancer season now. End of the month will be Leo. Willing to fight for what it wants. But what it wants, the right thing. Are the priorities for this man in the right place? Now we have the outcome. El Valiente. You will do the right thing, the valiant man. If you have a man in your life, you may be a lady watching this. If you have a man or someone who identifies as male in your life, fits the description of being a little fancy, perhaps a little arrogant, good They'll fool themselves at times. Perhaps even if they get pushed on the matter, they can get a little temperamental. Trying to struggle with a family life, trying to deal with doing the right thing, but also wanting to be the bachelor, if you will. Struggling both lives, making the right thing. The outcome is that this person will do what is right. They will mature. They will become family-oriented if that is what is needed, especially if there are kids involved. He will work. He will continue to put in the effort. But that person will need a little bit of support, because at times this person may be subject to bouts of frustration, which is actually, on the psychology perspective, on the opposite side of the spectrum from depression. So we likely have a person, I'm going to say middle-aged male, early mid-40s, prone to depression, big change in life. He's going to do the right thing. Thank you, guides, for making me the guinea pig on this, even though I said it was for a random person. Sure enough, you made it all about me. Better about me than about Jen. She is used to being the center of stuff. All right. I'm going to look forward to playing with this tarot deck, looking at different spreads. Do another what, Jen? Do you want me to start doing another Loteria? Or do you want me to start doing like one cards with Smithwaite, Magpie Tarot, Liminal Forest Oracle, and Wandering Witch? The 3-card pull of the Loteria. Do another one. Loteria. I'm going to just throw these cards together into one. Why am I separating them out? The one I just did. Getting a Loteria deck. Yeah, Gia. So there's, I don't know when you got on, but this is actually a common Loteria deck that I picked. It's made by the company called Buffalo Games. I got this on Amazon, I believe. I've seen it at toy stores, Walmarts, wherever your chain is. And there's 2 separate decks in there. But the cards, I believe, are duplicated because I've actually gone through. So and it comes with a little book. This is the game, the actual card game, Loteria. Now, where's Mexican grocery store? I've seen them in like sheets with perforations where you tear them out real carefully, and they're almost like a mini. Like you can put them in a bag and carry them with you, and then it becomes like a little mini game that you can play when you're waiting at the doctor's office or kids in the back of the car. Well, they used to do that back in the day when people didn't make their kids wear seatbelts. Now they do. And the kids are on their phone, on their tablet. Pretty soon kids are going to go, what's a game? So, anyway, similar concept. This is current Loteria, Soldier. There's just so many different ones. The Loteria Tarot that I acquired through my Kickstarter, really generic ones on eBay and 2 sets like that. Yeah, Gia. It's a pretty common, popular game among Mexican Americans and other people. But this is a tarot deck that is based upon some more traditional cards that they have found, looking back into antique sets that they've found, older sets, family heirloom, whatever, found in shoebox up in Abuela's closet or something. So shuffle these 2 decks together that came with my tarot. Yeah. I actually know a guy who has the Loteria card for the magician, or not magician, musician. The magician is a tarot card. This was a musician, had a nice suit and a hat and a guitar. This guy was a musician as well. And he is Hispanic American from the great city of St. Louis, Missouri. 3, current situation, challenge, outcome. Let's see what we got here. El Camion, the bus. This bus is going to the zoo. You're going somewhere. You're going somewhere, Jen. Places. Your abuela didn't have these cards, yeah? Was your grandma like my grandma, where you had the round tin that had the cookies on it, and you thought maybe it was cookies, and you opened it up, and it was just a sewing kit? My grandma had that. Plenty of, that was a cool thing. Current situation is the bus. You are going somewhere, Jen. The challenge coming up, Jen. The ladder. How do we go up the ladder? Escalera. Usually the ladder talks about corporate and business. Yes, Gia, she did indeed fool you thinking that she had nice buttery cookies, when in fact all she had was stuff to fix people's clothes. Womp, womp, sad trombone. And this is a beautiful card that was one of the expansions that we ended up paying way too much into the program to make sure that we could get. El Pancho. So, current situation, we're on the bus. We don't know really where the bus is going. Challenge is, how do we get somewhere? How do we go up the ladder? The corporate, Jen. The outcome, El Pancho, you have to put on your colors. Wear your truth out there, with the exception if your truth is something that is dark and scary. Here we have the vibrance. You are the priestess, Jen. You are the chieftain. You are the modern embodiment of your rich, proud family traditions. Make people green with envy. Make them hate you because you are just awesome. Not because you're being a B word, but because you are just awesome. That's what you need to do with your situation, where you are feeling like you are going someplace, but not even sure really where we're going. You know you want to move up. Make it happen. Maybe they're saying that you should wear a poncho, Jen. If you have a poncho, wear a poncho. I'm sure you can get some ponchos. I'm just kidding. Don't wear a poncho to work, unless you think you can get away with it. Gia, do you want a 3-card Loteria Tarot? Hello, Carrie. Carrie is just in time for the unboxing of the new Loteria Tarot. You don't even have a ribbon skirt. Well, maybe it's time for you to get a ribbon skirt. Maybe that's what they are telling you. That there is a serious lack of awesomeness. Gia gets her 3-card status, challenge, or the current situation, the challenge, and then the outcome. 3-card. Carrie, this was a Kickstarter project that I helped fund sometime last year. I almost forgot about it. Then I noticed that they kept taking money out of my account every month. I go, oh, that's right. I paid way too much to help support that thing. But here we are. Massive deck. Loteria. Not sure if you're familiar with it. Really quick, Carrie. It is a traditional Mexican card game. I believe it has its roots in Spain. Like a lot of things, it got brought to the New World. And it has Here's actually a smaller handheld deck, a Botella bottle. You have numbers in the corners, colors in the background. You match them. You can have almost like an Uno situation where you steal other people's cards. So that way you've got a really good stack deck, and then you win. Whenever you win 4 games, you've won the entire thing. Here's a bird. This is just a card game aspect, and they took some of the more rare and more celestially significant cards from antique Loteria decks, blew them up into tarot deck size. So anyway, yep, pretty cool. We'll show more. Gia, current situation. El Cantarito, looks like we've got a picture here. The challenge coming up for Gia. A Botella. Interesting. I just had this on the traditional Loteria game deck. If you saw, I flashed it. And here we go with this one. This is actually a ketchup bottle. And then what are we going to do? What's the outcome? What's the best outcome from all this? What's the guidance that the guides have for you, Gia? La Tetera. I wish I knew way more Spanish than I do. It looks like some kind of pot or tea kettle. Some kind of pot or tea kettle. Gia, what is a La Tetera, if you happen to know? So I'm going to set these over here. I'm going to start working from the side. Cantarito, it's a pot or a pitcher, your current situation. What's happening is it's a container, so you're being contained. There is a narrow way of getting out. So there is something or a situation that has you feeling stressed or strained. I would not say imprisoned. I would not say trapped. Your espresso in the bottom. Okay, that tells me that it is probably like a coffee pot. No. So you're in a situation where you've got really one way out. Narrow. One way out, narrow. Facing a lot of challenges. And the bigger challenge is that things are about to get even tighter for you. Here, someone's even put a cap on it. So your essence, the things that really matter, your expression is getting stifled. Your, I guess, outlook, perhaps even relationships, those things are being hampered, stifled. And the outcome is that unless you find a way to release those things over time, eventually it's going to come out as steam because it's going to get real hot. There's going to be a lot of pressure. Things are going to really heat up. I don't know if that means that you're going to have sort of a blow up or someone close to you is going to have a blow up, but it's hot water. The outcome from all this, if you don't get the relief that you need, the relief from stress and anxieties, hot water, caliente. You're trying to organize a relocation that fits. It's a tough real estate market right now. Yeah. The bottle especially, I'm feeling like, I keep feeling like walls coming in. I got a place that I need to be. I got these other issues going on. I need to move out. I need to get out from this little tiny opening. How do I do that? And if you hear a tapping or a knocking noise, that is not ghosts. That is the compressor in my old fridge in my apartment. So don't be afraid. Hot for sure. That's right. That's right. Carrie there. Carrie, do you want a 3-card Loteria Tarot drawing? And I just dropped half my cards on the ground. Isn't that nice? No, just one card. And of course, it's the bottle card. It's trying to get away from me. I don't want stress. I don't want to be contained. But I know that I need that card for somebody else. You're welcome, Gia. Thank you for being a good follower. Thank you for coming. You are, let's see what time it is. You are welcome to stay and see what other people get. I'm going to wait and see. I get a response from Carrie if she wants one of these. Most people are familiar with the traditional tarot. Yes, please. Okay. There we go. Current situation. Challenge coming up. Or almost here. The outcome. Where's that going? Picture. Picture again, El Cantarito. Ball's coming in for Carrie. And so I'll bring this up again. So from your perspective, current situation, things tight, but you got some breathing room. You got some breathing room. You're able to keep your head above the water. Challenge coming up. Apache, or as gringos might say, Apache. I think it's lagging a bit on my end. It might be. It might be. I've got fiber now, but my phone's got processing issues and whatever. What's interesting is when I think of Apache, I keep thinking of like Southwest Native Americans. But this is almost, because there's a mustache on him. And he looks almost Aztec in a way, except I'm not seeing like certain feathers and such. So what does that mean? What does that indicate? The challenge, well, it's a man, for one. And we have a man who has getting older distinguishment. As simple as he can be, he also has the ability to show a lot of different colors. I'm seeing a spiritual aspect here. Let's look at these colors. A lot of heart, some grounding. He's able to use his throat chakra, and we've got a fair amount of solar plexus yellow here. So this man doesn't really feel like he has much to prove, which leads me to believe he's more mature. Good night, Gia. Thanks, Gia. Thanks for stopping in. Talk again soon, okay? So this person with their knowledge, they know how to talk. They know how to use their heart, and they know how to put their best face forward. But what is in the quiver? What is in the quiver? They have the ability to know what other people are thinking. They have more heart than anything. They have the ability to use the voice. They have grounding. They have solar plexus strength going outward. What they actually, that's that blue, that it's more of a crown. That's wisdom, as opposed to third eye. So they don't have the spiritual aspect. They do have wisdom from life experience, and they can use their voice when they want to talk about it. This person does not have much sacral or orange energy, which would include some of the reproductive, but also kidneys, lower, the renal, the urinary. This person at times can weaponize these things and say things that are kind of, I'll just say, mean. They can use love. They can use this thing of experience from the past. Like, I've done this more, I know this. Sometimes they may even be, I don't want to use the word narcissistic, but when they're using their grounding as a weapon, that really means that they're trying to use it against you to compare you. Like, you don't have as much grounding as they do. You need this, you need that, blah, blah. So challenges with this guy. Times. What is the outcome? The sun. The sun sees everything. Sun sees everything. This is interesting because it's not yellow. It is not your typical yellow, bright, sunny, happy. This individual is more calm, placid, and grounded. So the outcome with this is really that in order to deal with this man more constructively, more healthfully, is to try and pursue less emotional based response and feel it's hard to explain, but it's like I'm for like right here, I'm closing my eyes. What am I doing? I know that I'm going to feel something, but rather than have the release, I'm having to collectivize. I want to say a bunch of things, but is that going to really help a situation? So look at this face. Even if you don't know anything about chakras, grounding, look at this face, the cool cucumber. And no, he's not green or blue to symbolize a cucumber or blue, but he is red. We are seeing calm. So calm needs to prevail. Calm needs to survey all before it. So when this man tries his stuff, you will, and I'm not saying that you wouldn't be hurt by certain things or be alarmed by certain things, but this person, this face does not tell me that they are really as concerned with your emotions as they probably should be. When I see this card, I think wild. I think wild man. And that's not to say like a caveman where he's dirty and eats raw meat, and rides on the backs of T-Rexes. It's he lives life on his terms, and he has no apologies. He makes no apologies. That's the other thing. No apologies. And I get a flash in my head when I hold this card of one of my very best friends. He's my best guy friend, and he don't care. He can do what he wants. That's why he and I get along, I think, is that we are like opposites, the yin and the yang. So that's the thing with tarot. Not everything is rosy or positive. Sometimes there is clear directions. Sometimes it's messages that you got to do a little work sometimes. And it's getting hot in this apartment because I turned the air off. Because I have the air on. Right over here is my air handler. And you cannot hear me. What else we got? We have the Wandering Witch. Oracle deck. An MJ Cullinane production. Crossroads. This really sort of jumps out. So, someone is at a crossroads. What are we at a crossroads about? Nettle. Handling the difficult situations. We have crossroads. This is another oracle deck that I'm using, Wandering Witch. Actually, that was tarot. This is oracle. Oracle is interesting because it tends to be a little more, I've used the term kid gloves, but it kind of helps to really unpack and I kind of have it. I call it the coloring pages of divination, as opposed to tarot, which is like the pickup sticks of it's a mess. Whereas oracle is kind of like there, and all you got to do is color it in and make it sound pretty for people. So, crossroads, nettle, butterfly, sticky situation, stinging nettle. Plenty of nutritional value from a herbalist perspective, and I am a certified herbalist. But it can be kind of stickery. I keep looking at this card. Why? Wind. Storm. Trees blowing. One of the local black foxes on San Juan Island, where MJ lives, in the bottom here. And an eagle or seahawk high overhead. I'm going to call it an eagle because I'm familiar with eagles. She has seahawks where she lives. So, a stickery situation. Weathering the storm. You can be a fox on the ground, hunkering down in the grass, or you can be an eagle flying high above, using the wind to your advantage. It is up to you. Do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? Survival or thriving? Where do we want to go from there? One more card. I always do threes. Odd that the bird is flying through the storm. Well, this is wind. Okay, Jen, this is the story. This is not, it says wind, but it's high wind. Look at those trees. Battery power to 15%. Where am I at? 10 minutes, I'll make it. Look at those trees. Storm's coming. It's gray. Lots of clouds. Look at all those little circles out there. Nasty. I'm calling it a storm. It's nasty. Nasty stuff. But yeah, you can be the fox and hunker down, wait it out. You can fly through it. Master it. Use it to your advantage. Cover distance. Lichen. This too will pass. But just like with the sun, lichen is anchored in place. Grows on rocks, old rotting trees. It is of the ages. It will stand the test of time. There is lichen that has been here before us. There is lichen that will be here after us. Are you liking the lichen? Don't answer that. If we can focus. Art by M.J. Colony. Ground, lichen, ground, the sun. Find that balance. Pick your time. No need to get worked up about anything. Things will be worked out. The storm is definitely coming. It might be where you live in the upper Midwest. Carrie. It is hotter than hell here, and it will be through 4th of July weekend. It was raining all last week. We had rain, rain, rain. I had to bring my aloe plant in. It was killing it, turning it brown. And now, after just 2 days, I have to start watering tomato plants again. I am so whiny. Why am I whiny? I'm doing divination. Wandering Witch Oracle deck. This is available to have three 5-card spreads. Current situation, the challenge, and the outcome. Not unlike what I just did with Loteria Tarot. And I will probably put these on my store as well and make these available for anyone who wants to have their own reading. Fun stuff. Wandering Witch. And I even have, I think, another deck or two coming from MJ. And like always, I don't even remember what I bought. I saw it, I had to have it, and I'm going to get it. And if it grabs me, it grabs me. If it don't, I'm going to probably sell it. Storm is definitely coming. Carrie, does that mean that we are at a time of reckoning? Will there be an ass getting chewed? You do not have to answer that. Just saying. Whenever I hear this, the storm is definitely coming. This is the hottest week of the year. So, yeah, it has been. Yeah, a heat index of 104 here. And of course, I say all these things, and Jen just wants to laugh because she lives in the hottest place in the United States outside of Death Valley or Las Vegas. She's like, you guys don't know hot. You think you know, but you don't know hot. It was in the 70s this morning there in Phoenix. What was it by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I wonder? It was in the 70s here this morning too, and then it got really hot. But you see, it's humid here in the Midwest. We feel everything so much more. It's dry there where you are. Doing my stuff. Might have lost somebody. Back to 100. It was back to 100. Yes, I knew it. I knew it. You love it. You love it, Jen. What am I doing? This booklet. Whatever. I'm going to fix it later. I'll try and throw that booklet out. And how easy is it to get the stuff back in the box? How easy is it to get the stuff back in the box? Hey, there's that deer again we had the first time. When the guides told me that I was getting old and I need to get my crap together. It feels that way. Something is shifting. It is. Something is on the horizon. I don't know what it is. A lot of people have been saying stuff like, well, you know what? Strawberry moon tonight is a full moon. Jupiter is moving somewhere. I don't remember what they said. I can't be the master of everything. People tell me that, you know, this is going on in Sirius or Saros or something's going on. Anyway, hey, Muneka, the little doll. Speaking of which, the doll, I opened the box today, Carrie. Everything was well packaged. Thank you. Yeah. All right. I am starting to get a little moist in here again because I got the air conditioner off. The guides say you are a little doll, Carrie, and I would take that as a compliment because they see everything I see, they know everything I know, and they want you to know that you're a cute little doll. But like some dolls, especially China dolls, you can be fragile. So this is why think about that big red sun. Put on your game face in some situations, as hard as it can be. But that's how we get through sometimes. And what is, I don't know what this is. I pulled this out at the very beginning. It looks like it's some kind of envelope. I don't want to rip it. I'm going to have to. I'm sure it's going to piss me off when I realize what I did. What is this? Heritage Collection, 2 of 9. It's a wear and share from Dreamstar Game. Temporary tattoo of the moon. Temporary tattoo of El Corazon, which reminds me of the 3 of Swords in traditional tarot. El Gallo, the rooster, which starts everything. It starts the traditional game. Whoever has that has to start it. So 3 temporary tattoos. The moon, and that would be the moon card in the deck. Corazon deck. Gallo in the deck. So this was a fun thing. Glad I opened the envelope up. I wish I'd opened it a little nicer instead of ripping the shit out of it. But it is what it is. So I am going to call it, folks. We can have conversations on the side. We'll try to do this again much sooner, especially since in a week or so I will be getting more MJ Cullinane decks in. Maybe we can get more folks to join. That would be awesome too. Everybody have a great rest of your night. All right, bye.